Are and I noticed with this program, it doesn't really give you a heads up. All right, looks like we're already streaming live now. So it goes that fast. Okay. Yeah. It looks like okay, we're already streaming live. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna open up another tab so I can see questions and comments coming in if anybody joins and asks questions. Sorry, my laptop is probably running a little slow because I'm streaming and all that. Okay, just in case anybody is watching right now, welcome to another episode of Ask June the Groomer Live. Tonight is a kind of a special occasion. I have a special guest with me. Her name is Lissa Koffler. She's the founding consultant for Living Water Creek. We met on LinkedIn because she is very concerned about because she also is a pet owner as well. But Lissa is very concerned about the products that we're using because unknowingly we're doing a lot of damage to our bodies, our own bodies. We're causing a lot of harm to our dogs with the shampoos and the products we're putting on them. And the household cleaning products that we're using are uh, carcinogens. Like they actually can cause cancer, but they're very harmful. They're toxic to our bodies. And let me see here. Okay, perfect. They came up. And I just wanted to kind of put that out there so everybody knows how we met. And she sent me some samples, and I'm going to get into that as well. But just for a moment, let me make sure. You know what, Lisa? I'm going to just turn this off because, oh, it says 6 people watching. And I'm going to go on, look at it on my phone, see any comments coming on my phone. That way, because every time I'm sharing my screen, so every time I switch over, I realized it's going to do that. Okay, so there we go. I got it up on my phone. Perfect. Okay, so Dana and Lilu the cat says hi, June and Lissa. Awesome. Mindy's here. Mindy, awesome. Mindy's from Australia.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wait, what
okay.
time is it in Australia? What's the time difference?
Oh, she told me before too. Because I don't write these things down. Okay, so everyone, I'd like to introduce Lissa Koffler. Lissa, just bring us up to speed. Tell us how you got to this point in your life. No, I was kidding. From
Yeah,
the day you were born, if
so
you could start.
thank you for having me for one. But yeah, um, a little bit about myself. I am a wife to a Marine, and I have two boys, and I am a dog mom to two dogs. And so, a little how I got started in Living Water Creek was I actually have an autoimmune disease, and so I just kind of chalked up a lot of my skin issues and like losing handfuls of hair to just my Crohn's. And then it wasn't until obviously COVID, I had my cousin here and we were talking. She does hair for a living, and she had asked me what product I was using. And I don't want to share what brand it was particularly, but I showed her and she said, well, there's a major lawsuit out against them for
Oh,
hair
wow.
loss. And so it really started getting me into digging into and researching the ingredients into our products that we use, not only on our body, but just like around the house.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time, I was introduced to this new brand that hadn't launched yet, but we're in the beginning stages. And I did some research, got to know the branding founder, her mission and her passion with this brand. And it was everything. I was so excited because I learned how the industry and the laws haven't changed for so long, and how these companies can get around and just make so much money off of poisoning us. And the minute I switched from these big name brands that we've grown up with our whole lives
Yeah.
to switching to a natural product, I don't lose my hair anymore. I don't have cystic acne. it really is night and day difference when you start kind of diving in and researching what you're using and the effects that it has on you. And I think the icing on the cake for it is, excuse me, I've always been one to recycle growing up. That's one thing my parents instilled in us. And something I've always grown up doing, but more and more as the research is being put out there about plastic pollution,
Hmm.
it's actually quite frustrating and quite saddening how we're single-handedly destroying not only our bodies by what we're putting on it, but what we're dumping down the drain and how we're destroying our planet at that.
Yeah.
So,
It's crazy when you think about it. Like I was shocked when you first told me, and then I started looking into some of the posts that you were making, the facts you were
mm-hmm.
sharing, and yeah, you just so the just for example, the shampoo and the conditioner that you sent me, I'm still using it, and it was just it was like a not even a full bar. It was maybe what would
It
you
was
say,
a quarter.
a quarter.
It
So
was a quarter of a bar, only
yeah,
because with
it
COVID, we've had delays in our machining, so we don't have samples yet, but that's a quarter of a bar.
wow. And when was that you sent it to me? It's been a week, right?
A couple, yeah, a week or
2.
almost 2 weeks. I don't know.
It's been 2, yeah, because I actually finished using the flea tick shampoo that you sent me for the dogs, which I
Mm-hmm.
loved. It lathered so well. I was shocked because there's another company that I do support, but I don't want to say it here because I feel like it might be disrespectful,
Right.
because anyways, but I really like it, and it's really good shampoo for dog skin and everything. And the owner of the company, she for the same reasons, because she saw how toxic all these shampoos are, made her own because she works in the human cosmetic industry. She's a chemist. And so she made
Mm-hmm.
her own shampoo bars for dogs that are all natural. And the I liked it, and but it just didn't lather that well. And like I just felt like I had to really work to get it to lather because it was all natural and everything, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't really sud. There wasn't a lot of sudsy, like sud up, soap up, and then it. Yeah, I just had a hard time, and it didn't really last that long. But with the shampoo that you sent me, the shampoo bar, it was maybe what, a half a bar, was it, or was that a quarter of a bar too?
Everything was a quarter that I sent. Oh wait, no, the dog shampoo was a half a bar. So this is a
Okay.
full size bar, and so you did get half.
So that one, I wasn't expecting it to last the two doodles that I was going to use it on. Not only did it last those two doodles, I used it on another full-size poodle, the one I showed you in
Yes,
like a private video.
the white one.
Exactly. The
Okay.
private video that I sent, then I finished that one, and then I did another Maltese as well. And with the Maltese, I think I could have maybe, you know, I didn't have to use all of it, but there was such a little bit left. I just went ahead and just kind of rubbed it all in and just used the rest of it on that
Mm-hmm.
Maltese. But yeah, it surprised me how long it lasted, and also how easily it lathered all over the dogs. And it's soapy. I like that. It's soapy because a lot of the all natural shampoos, even there's a liquid shampoo that I use that's a little bit more organic and natural, and even that one, it will lather and soap up, but then the soap kind of almost disappears. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
soapy anymore. I don't know. It's hard. But what would you like? Because you used it on your dogs, wouldn't you say it's
So um, that's kind of scary in itself because if there's products I'm not going to use on me because they're toxin filled, I'm definitely not going to use them on my dogs. And that was another eye opening research of mine as well. Is
hmm
I had a liquid shampoo and learning when you use products like shampoos that are water based. The one water based means you're mainly paying for water, but the water is also going to promote bacteria growth. So that's one reason why we have ours in bars, which this was, I'm not going to lie, this has been such a learning curve for most people because this is what we've not been raised on. We have been raised on liquid shampoo and that. But a lot of reasoning behind the lathering of soaps is because you have the original one, I have to look here. I think it was sodium lauryl sulfate.
hmm
Um, and Sodium lauryl sulfate was then transferred through a unique manufacturing process, switched to sodium laureth sulfate. Well, the problem with that is, yes, sodium laureth sulfate didn't irritate the skin as much when you used it on your hair or your skin or whatever. The problem with that, though, it still leaves behind two toxic carcinogens.
Uh-huh.
One is like 1-4
Hmm.
ethylene oxide and 1,4 dioxane, which are both known carcinogens. And so we use what's called sodium cocoa sulfate. And the biggest thing is sulfates have been given such a bad name, and rightfully so. I mean, they're causing cancer.
Mm-hmm.
The difference with sodium cocoa sulfate, though, it is a coconut derivative, and it doesn't, you're not left behind with those cancerous byproducts like you are with the sodium lauryl and sodium laureth sulfates.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really makes our shampoo sudsy.
Uh-huh. I remember having a conversation with it was a shampoo chemist for a big company that's in the dog industry, and he told me
Mm-hmm.
that the reason why they have to put preservatives in their shampoo bottles because, like you said, it's water based, and once it's liquid, it bacteria can grow. And he's saying that you have to have those preservatives in there, otherwise, when you open the shampoo bottle, it might be rotten, and that's
So
why
that's the
shampoo
difference
bars.
is,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you don't need any preservatives. I think there's, let me look here real quick.
Yeah, because it's a
There's
dry shampoo bar.
1, 2, 3, there's 5 ingredients in our shampoo bar. So the only difference between this is what we use on our hair, this is
Hmm.
what I sent you, and then the flea and tick shampoo. The only difference is this has a peppermint oil, the flea and tick has cinnamon oil, and there's reasonings behind that. We can get into that later if you want. But yes, like there's no preservatives in this at all.
Yeah, that's I remember the lady who like I had a conversation with who made shampoo bars for dogs. She told me the same thing. She said that if you make liquid shampoo or soap, it you have to have lots of preservatives. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's a dry bar, you don't have to have preservatives because yeah, there's no water. So let me get to the questions here. We have so
Yeah.
Mindy says it's lunchtime, it's noon, and
Okay.
Dana and Lilu the cat. I thought I seen a flea on my cat a few days ago. When I gave her a flea bath, both the wetting down and rinsing water ran clear. Is that a good sign? So both the wetting down and rinsing the water, it was clear. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a good sign, right? Clear as opposed to dirty.
Usually, usually when you have fleas and ticks, well, maybe not necessarily ticks, but as far as fleas, they usually are rinsed off. And it's talking about fleas. We had so many conversations as far as at one point you said something about, I hope you're not using Dawn dish soap.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you see these commercials with how they use Dawn dish soap on wildlife that get full of oil. And then that got me to thinking, now I don't use Dawn dish soap, but I was looking at the ingredients for that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best things with our product, though, is this cinnamon oil. The cinnamon oil, like lavender, peppermint, lemongrass, not only is a deterrent for like fleas, but it also is a deterrent for ants and spiders and like mosquitoes hate lavender and lemongrass and peppermint
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. So the cinnamon oil in ours, that's what helps kill the fleas, the ticks, and the larvae. And cinnamon oil is approved by the ASPCA. And one of the great things with cinnamon oil, now, if you do not use it correctly, it is very toxic to dogs, but it's so diluted into our shampoo bars Now we do have a chemist and a formulator on our team, but also with the flea and tick shampoo, the branding founder, they're farmers.
Mm-hmm.
They have obviously a vet that comes out to their farm. Their family vet helped to formulate this as well. So when
Yeah.
you have ASPCA saying cinnamon's great, you've got a family vet, helping to formulate, we really have a really safe product in itself. And it can be used on day old days and kittens. So you're not introducing puppies and kittens to chemicals in the onset of their life.
Yeah. What and like lavender oil, for example, it's a natural deterrent for scorpions out in Arizona, and and also fleas and things like that. But you
Mm-hmm.
can't use lavender oil on a dog just straight up. You have to cut it. You have to dilute it with a base
Yep.
oil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anything can be harmful if not done correctly. But yeah,
Right.
this is the flea and tick shampoo that she sent me, and the ingredients here: sodium cocoa sulfate, coconut oil,
Mm-hmm.
cocoa butter, cinnamon essential oil, and O-panthenol. And that's it. Those are the ingredients. And I really, they washed clean the dogs that I did. Like, yeah, like, and the thing is, a lot of my clients, they're not really on social media, and they don't really like, they feel uncomfortable. So I don't share the pictures on social media that much. When I get to, though, oh, I love to flex. But I did send Lissa one just privately, and you saw that like they look just the same, if not better than
Mm-hmm.
when I groomed them. And so, reading the ingredients for that, I just wanted to read the ingredients for the shampoo that I've been using. And I'm not going to say the name of the brand because I don't want to make any brand look bad. And I have to actually use my camera here to zoom in because I can't even see it. Okay, so it's water and then, oh, that's interesting because it's water and comma. So water is the first ingredient. Interesting. Water,
Water's usually the first ingredient.
that's interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium laureth sulfate. Wow, back to back. Um, what is that? Cocamidopropyl bethane, glycol disterate, dimethicone, fragrance, argania spinosa, kernel oil. Okay, so there's the argan oil that they promised. Histidine? That doesn't even sound. What is histidine? I gotta Google that. Aloe. Wow, I'm not even halfway done. Okay, so wow, I've been washing my hair with this. This is crazy.
So you named three very toxic ingredients: the sodium lauryl sulfate, the sodium laureth, which were the second and third ingredients, and then the fragrance in products. And I don't know if I've gotten to that yet. Maybe I have. I did a couple of days ago on one of my posts in my Facebook group.
Hmm.
Is that fragrance is a way for companies to be able to hide behind the chemicals that they're using. Again, this goes back to how the laws are written in that they do not have to disclose all the ingredients. They can just do a blanket statement. And a lot of companies out there will do it and then claim, well, we have a proprietary recipe
Yeah.
for XYZ. Well, one of the great things about our brand is we're very transparent. You see every ingredient listed. We're small batch and simple ingredients. So while you were what, six or seven ingredients in,
Hmm.
you probably were only halfway done. And
Yeah.
that's a commonality with your brands out there on the market, is that you just have a laundry list of 10 to 20 ingredients, and most of them you're thinking, I have a clue what this is.
Yeah. And the marketing, I mean, you should see the commercials for that brand that I was using, you know? It was the feet that got me. Anyways, okay. Let me move on real quick, moving away from that. Dana and Lilu the cat says, I'm from Newfoundland, Canada. Um, I have to remember, like, this is not just my audience. Okay, Dana and Lilu the cat says, I forgot to mention that I didn't see the flea poop on Lilu. Okay, so yeah, the flea poop, and then when you rinse your dog, usually when they're flea infested, you will see brown water or red water, and that usually is like the flea poop, because the poop literally is their blood that they're sucking out of your dog. Anyways, APEA Dog Grooming says, hi everyone. What's up, APEA Dog Grooming? Mindy says, I always worry about what I'm using myself, my products, and the fact that I'm very close to my Shih Tzu, plus her allergy to shampoo. She's got hair loss. Oh, yeah. So, Mindy, I would suggest going through all your products and reading the ingredients, right? And looking for those keywords,
Mhm.
sulfates, what is it? Lauryl
There's
sulfate.
and I had have it written down because I don't remember them all, but it's called the Dirty Dozen, and these are some of the most toxic chemicals in your skin and beauty care products and cosmetics that you're finding. So it's BHA, BHT. Don't ask me to pronounce their full names. I can't.
Hmm.
Coal tars, excuse me, DEAs, um, DPBs, formaldehyde or formaldehyde releasing preservatives. And that one in itself had, I think, 10 different formaldehyde releasing preservatives that I had just, talked about recently in a post. You have your
Formaldehyde.
parabens, formaldehyde, yes. Um, Formaldehyde is actually an environmental and a health um, toxin. Like there's a label on formaldehyde
Hmm.
that says like don't let it touch your skin and all of that. That's what they pump dead people with. Come on.
My brother was
Um,
watching the Tonight Show with Trevor Noah, and I guess this is like the most recent episode. He literally just talked about how that new car smell comes from formaldehyde, and that's actually not good
mhm.
for you. And that
No.
it's crazy. Oh, go ahead though. I'm sorry, I
Mhm. No,
interrupted.
you're good. You're good. Perfumes and fragrances, PEG compounds, petroleum, which is a petroleum byproduct. It's a byproduct of petroleum, like petroleum jelly.
Oh my, like Vaseline, and Vaseline
Um,
is so bad for our skin, so bad for us. Okay, go ahead.
it locks the toxins into your skin.
Yeah.
It's the wrong kind of, it's called emollient. Um, so it's going to trap the toxins in and not allow your body to release them. You have your sodium lauryl and sodium lauryl sulfates. You have your triglycins, and then you have your any product or any ingredient that ends in silicans or methicones. So those are like your top
Oh.
12, but there are so many more. Like mineral oil is one that we had talked about previously as well. That anything like that, I would love for anybody if they have questions. I would love to help guide them in answering those questions as well.
Yeah, Leon Harewood. So Leon Harewood, he lives in Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's pretty cool that we actually have someone
Mm-hmm.
from Trinidad joining us. Um, let's see. APA Dog Grooming says, I like to use biodegradable dog shampoo. I think it's important not only to look for the health of the pet, but also what you're putting back into the planet. Exactly, because that's one
Mm-hmm.
thing that really struck me when one of our first conversations on LinkedIn when you messaged me, and you were explaining
Mm-hmm.
how these chemicals and these toxins are washing down our drains and they end up in our oceans and it's affecting our planet. And I was like, this is a bigger issue than just, like making our dog smell nice. This is like serious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the amount of shampoo that dog grooming shops put down drains every day. I mean, it's crazy. Let's see here. APA Dog Grooming says it's also a natural flea repellent. Not sure what the components are, but I find it cleans nicely. What is that? Okay, the biodegradable dog shampoo. Okay. Um, what do you think about that? Biodegradable dog shampoo. When products say that they're biodegradable.
So our products are wrapped in biodegradable cellophane,
Okay.
which means you can just take the packaging off of this and throw it in your composite bin or pile if you've got one, and it will break down. Obviously, in the right environment, it depends on like the temperature and what other things are in there. It's not a bad thing. It's better than the brands that we're buying off the store.
Mm-hmm.
And to go back to, we just don't have a clue what we're washing down the drains.
Yeah.
And it's this relentless cycle of we're dumping it down to our drains. It goes into our soil, which then it goes into, the grass or the flowers, which then bees and birds and butterflies and everything else is, pollinating or eating, animals. And then it goes into our water source, and then we're drinking that, and whatever we don't drink then goes out into the ocean, and then that's affecting the wildlife. And I had met a sea turtle expert on LinkedIn as well, and the viruses that our ocean life are suffering because of the toxins we're washing down our drain and the plastic pollution. People just don't care.
Yeah.
One of the things that resonated really hard with me is we hosted a German exchange student this past fall, and I took her to the grocery store, and she was like, "Wow, you guys have a lot of plastic products." And I was like, "Yeah, we do." And she goes, "What do you do with that?" And even got me to thinking more, because I'm thinking, well, shoot, I grew up with recycling. Not everybody has that opportunity or is maybe taught. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh my goodness. And then that gets into the downfall of microplastics, which are found in our fish that we consume if you eat fish. It's now being found in human placenta.
What?
And there was a study I read just earlier today from Amsterdam that says because it gets into our lungs. So if you have pneumonia, or God forbid you guys get COVID, that is going to prohibit you because it's damaged your lungs, and now your lungs are not able to fully repair themselves.
Man.
So
Wow.
really, it's just that domino effect, and people just don't understand because we've got these big corporations just marketing to us. People
Yeah.
and that's not the case.
So I'll hide the name, but I mean, look at the marketing here. It says like 90% real. It says 90% natural origin, and it has this weird crown looking stamp of approval, I guess, which means nothing. But it sold me, and it says real botanicals. And what? And it's like you would. My question would be, how did these companies get away with this? It's like blatantly lying right on the label. And you were explained it's
Because the
because,
FDA hasn't updated their law since 1938.
oh my
It's up to
goodness.
each company's interpretation. So here's the thing. You can use natural ingredients, but during these marvelous processes of manufacturing these products, you're then turning these natural ingredients into toxins for you then.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they may use natural ingredients, but how they're processing that is then what is causing us bodily harm. That's causing endocrine issues. It's causing liver and kidney and cancer. And I mean, really, there's a long list of a gamut of issues that these products, you have on warning labels for alcohol, you have warning labels on cigarettes. So, like, you already know the risk, but
Mm-hmm.
those warning labels are not on our products that we're putting, for females, makeup.
Mm-hmm.
For us in general, our skin, hair, body care products, our toothpaste also have those microbeads. So then you're ingesting the microbeads,
Oh my goodness.
which are microplastics. The hand sanitizer. I don't know. Maybe this is ancient me. Do you remember growing up where they had hand san? And maybe they still have it. The hand sanitizer with like those little microbeads in them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's microplastic.
Oh my God. And it would actually kind of dissolve after a while into your hands. Isn't that
Or
crazy?
they get so small you just don't realize it.
Yeah, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So what you're describing is the traditional Chinese medicine have a term for it. It's called the law of integrity. Everything is connected. Everything affects another. And even
Mm-hmm.
though it doesn't seem like it, the when we take a shower and all of the ingredients I just read on the shower on the bottle of shampoo I was using in my hair, not only is it being absorbed in my body and having negative impact on me, on my health,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going down the drain, and I'm not aware that the sea turtles are losing their home, their habitat. Because when we went to the Key West, we went to like this little like a I don't want to call it a museum, but it was kind of like a museum, but it was more like a um wildlife habitat thing kind of. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
they showed us how the corals are dying. The coral reef is
Yes.
dying, and it's all connected. We might not see how it's connected, but it is. And this, oh my goodness, I don't want to
The
get.
branding founder, talking about coral reefs, the branding founder, her name is Amy. She grew up. Her father was a in the Marine Corps, and at one point early in her life, she was stationed in Okinawa, Japan. And they love to go snorkeling. And so she got to see the vibrancy of the coral reefs and all the ocean life in and around the coral reefs. And I don't exactly remember, but I don't know if it was a family trip, but they went out of town just a little north to a more industrialized area and they went snorkeling there. And she said, just the complete devastation. It's night and day. She goes, there was
Oh,
no life. She goes, it was so dark, no coral reefs. And you guys, that's what we're doing to our country. We do not have a plan B. This is what we get. And if we don't start taking care of it, listen,
yeah, we don't get to trade this planet
there's
in.
there was a statistic that by 2050 there will be 812 to 899 million tons of plastic waste in our ocean.
Oh my God.
So at that point, by 2050, there's going to be more plastic in our ocean than there is ocean life.
Holy cow.
And right now, excuse me, they said it's equivalent. So the amount of plastic that we have in our ocean right now is equivalent to dumping one garbage truck into the ocean every minute.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because so many of us are doing it unknowingly and just buying products because of the marketing.
Well, we've grown up with lately a culture of ease. Go through fast food versus going in to the grocery store to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll just get a plastic straw versus drinking from a cup or doing a refillable container. Um, Little things like that. I last week or 2 weeks ago, I had a challenge into my Facebook group on little things that you can start doing right now because it can get overwhelming if you start thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to change this, this, and this. You
Yeah.
really start little, but add on to it. And some people are like, well, I'm just one person. What difference does it make?
Mm-hmm.
One person makes the difference because if you can share what you're learning and that education to people like I'm doing with you and your audience that you hadn't a clue and I hadn't a clue either
Mm-hmm.
till my cousin brought it up and said that natural shampoo or what it was being marketed as 100% all natural was the furthest thing from it.
Yeah.
And so the idea is, well, natural brands cost more. Well, initially, yes, natural brands will last longer. Because let me ask you this, because everyone is different, and I know all dogs are different. For me, when I wash a dog, and I'm not a professional groomer, and it's probably quite hilarious if you were to watch how I give my dogs a bath. But when I use liquid shampoo prior to knowledge and understanding of what I was doing, putting liquid shampoo on the underbelly of my dog, half of it would go down the drain anyways. And so I just felt like I was wasting so much product.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it in that aspect, I palm, and you can just get the underbelly of the dog and,
Yeah.
just run it through your hair a couple times. So, and this doesn't have any plastic waste.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me feel so much better that, well, yes, I recycle, but you still need to reduce that carbon footprint that it takes to make the plastics.
Exactly. And one
So,
person can make a difference. It's easy to say, "Oh, I'm just one person," but just like the law of integrity states, everything affects
mhm.
another. We're all connected. So if one person starts making better decisions, can start affecting another, and that little changes, accumulated over time, can make big
If it doesn't
effects.
feel okay, I don't know if you're human if you don't feel this way, but when you do something good, do you not feel good about that and like pat
Yeah,
yourself on the back?
exactly.
Just so to know that I'm not going to kill my dogs with the shampoo I'm using. I'm going to be healthier and not cause issues down the road for me or my family
Hmm.
in health problems that may develop after prolonged use of using toxin filled products. Like that makes me just feel better that I'm doing my part.
Exactly. Yeah, and knowing better, we can do better. Because I didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. Dana and Lilu says, Lilu and I love watching dog grooming videos. Nice. My favorite dog dad. So my favorite dog dad, his name is David, and we don't like David,
Oh,
Lissa. Just so you know, just so we're on the same team here. We come at it as a united front against David, my favorite dog dad. APEA dog grooming says exactly, and with the amount of water we use as groomers, it's a lot. Exactly, a busy grooming shop can go through about 50 dogs in a day. That's a lot of dogs. That's a lot of shampoo. That's a lot of toxins
a
down the
lot of
drain.
bottles.
Yeah.
A lot of toxins down the drain, a lot of bottles that you do what with.
Yeah, right. I mean, usually dog grooming shampoo, yeah, because we do have the mix and dilution bottles, like, hairstylists have the, dilution bottles.
Mm-hmm.
But then we do have that big bottle that it came in concentrated form. Yeah, what do we do with that? We usually toss it, or yeah, or put it in recycle. But I heard that a lot of our recycled plastic ends up in the ocean anyways. But I mean, I'm not sure how true that is.
I have been in communication with some people on LinkedIn, and we do try to. I am still working on getting that information verified, but I know one person I talked to said yes, a majority of our plastics had been getting shipped to China, and it's like, well, that didn't make sense to me either. We have
Yeah,
recycling plants here. Why are we not recycling our own products?
yeah.
But I have met a few people that have started United States based recycling. And so I've been in, it's a process because they're busy, we're busy, just like you and we've been in contact for how many months, just learning.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Okay, so
but why
mint.
would you not try? Just recycle.
Exactly. I still do it. Even though they told
Mm-hmm.
me that, I still do it because I feel like it still makes me feel good about myself,
Right.
that I try at least. I did my part. Um, let's see. Mindy from Australia, who is probably still on her lunch break, says, I made sure the ingredients, the main common ones, aren't in my products as well. It was hard. Plus, not having all ingredients list on bottle or on their website. Exactly, Mindy. The dog grooming industry is plagued with this problem. Companies not listing their ingredients, or they're listing ingredients, but they put all these like, frou-frou names for everything on them, and not the real ingredient, not what they actually put, but like a nice name for it. Like you said, they'll say fragrance. Like, yeah, how did you come up with that fragrance though? And they'll say, oh, that's proprietary information. I can't give you that. It's like one company, when they were pressed for their true ingredient list, isn't that the term for it? Their true ingredient list, when you want the real ingredients, they told the groomers who were asking for it, would KFC give their secret ingredient list? I was like, this isn't fried chicken, you know, like,
If you cannot, if a company is unwilling for transparency, that should raise a red flag in itself to say, what are you hiding? I mean, really, what
yeah,
are they hiding?
yeah, right?
I don't eat KFC anyway, so.
Well, you know, I mean, I bet you the secret ingredient is there is no secret ingredient, you know? Anyways,
Mhm.
um, my favorite dog dad. Okay, this is him. It says the classic the classic comment of you don't know what you don't know, so share knowledge. Okay, every once in a while he says something of value. But I like that. The classic comment of you don't know what you don't know, so share the knowledge. Yeah, share what you know because you don't know how many people don't know what you know. I like that. APA Doggery says, I have a question. Would it be hygienic to rub the same bar of soap on different dogs? Or would I dissolve a little bit and use that on each dog? Oh, I know what I did, but I'll let you answer first.
There's no hygienic issues. I mean, rubbing it over the dog, rinse it off, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because the
know,
soap itself is it's disinfecting. The
yes.
so
There's
what?
there's like antimicrobial properties per se.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to the ingredients that we use.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, my husband and I use the same shampoo. Okay, I know we're married. It doesn't matter, but um, some of the properties like coconut oil, um, coconut oil in itself, if you have lice, that's what I was trying to think of the word. If you have lice, use
Mm-hmm.
this has coconut oil. This will help kill lice.
Really? Okay.
So,
Wow.
if it's killing lice, if it this has peppermint oil in it. So peppermint oil in itself has other really amazing benefits for your hair. I could use the flea and tick shampoo.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some people using it because they like cinnamon oil over peppermint oil. Um, but yeah, there's no issues,
Yeah.
cross contamination or anything like that.
So I'll tell you what I did. I like you said, I rinsed the soap bar off really well after each dog. I dried it off with the paper towel, like get
Mm-hmm.
pat it dry. And then in my bag that I carry inside that has like the towels and products that I use, there's like a mesh pocket and I put it in
Yes.
there so that it can dry completely. And that
Mm-hmm.
way when I go to the next appointment and I use it on the next dog, it's completely dry. I know there's no bacteria or anything like that, and I
Mm-hmm.
know that the bar itself it is antibacterial and antifungal in its nature, so I don't have anything to worry about. But still, it's kind of like when I go into our shower, we have a shampoo bar. I mean soap bar. My mom is really into like a lot of those health things, and I'm glad she is now. Now that I met you, but like I I don't know. Seeing knowing that somebody else used that bar before I did, I like to rinse it off before I use it on myself. You know, and I know it's all mental, but still. So that's why I just rinsed off this. I wanted to make sure this bar of soap was rinsed and cleaned before I
Mm-hmm.
would use it on another dog.
I like to touch on a point like the bars through our brand and most natural brands, you don't want it to just let it. Oh, hang on. My computer wants to restart. Give me 1 second. Restart tonight. Um, oh, bananas. What were we talking about?
You don't want to
Oh,
let
the
it
drying.
sit. Yeah.
So you don't want to just like leave these laying in water because then you don't get as much of a use out of it. So I'm really happy that you said, I dry it off and awesome.
Yeah. Well, I just noticed like for example, the bar soap that we use, whenever it just sits in water, it gets
Mm-hmm.
yucky and nasty
Yeah.
and yeah, sticky. So I like to make sure it's completely dry. Um, let's see here. Cutie Pie. Hello from Boston. Nice. Hello, Cutie Pie. MG says hello from Los Angeles. Wow. MG from Los Angeles says, how often do you advise giving a bath to a small dog like a Shizuo or Maltese? I would recommend, honestly, I tell people brush more, bathe less. So brush more often than you bathe. A long-haired dog like a Shih Tzu or Maltese, they're probably going to need a bath more often than a short-haired dog like a Lab. So my the ratio I like to give is 6 to 1. So if you're combing your dog every day, then on the seventh day, go ahead and wash them, right? So if you're combing your dog every day, brushing them really well, then once a week is fine. If you're only brushing your dog twice a week, then maybe wash them once every 3 weeks, right? If you're brushing your dog once a week, then maybe wash your dog every 6 weeks. So 6 to 1. I mean, but still, it's not exact, and it's not even something I came up with scientifically. The point is,
I think
though, brushing.
for us, the whole concept of like you buy this toxin-filled flea and tick crap that you put like between their shoulder blades
Yeah,
once a month. So for me, I just was like, oh, I'm just gonna wash my dogs a minimum of wash once a month, just to be on top of that. It also depends. Like, is your dog going out and rolling in something?
yeah,
Do they have fleas or do they have ticks?
yeah.
Do they have skin issues? I really to kind of add to that. It really just depends.
Yeah, well, for me, it's like just like us, dry skin is usually what causes a lot of our issues because dry
Mm-hmm.
skin invites bacteria and all this stuff and and so with dogs especially, dogs produce oil called through their sebaceous glands, through all their pores, and that the natural oil is what protects their skin and their hair. Every time we wash them, we're washing that natural oil. It's called the acid mantle. It's a thin protective layer of oil. If we wash that off too often, we're drying them out, and when they have dry skin, they get hot spots and they get nasty areas. And that's why I say brush more, bathe less, because all the benefits you're looking for from the bath, which is a clean, soft, nice smelling dog, you're going to get from brushing, not the bathing. The bathing you want to do every once in a while to just kind of reset everything, wash away all the extra
Mm-hmm.
dander that accumulates, and also the oil, the sebaceous glands, the sebum, they call it like sebum, the old oil, it gets old. So of course, to wash everything out and just start clean, start fresh, is great. But if you do it too often and you dry their skin out, so that's why with show dogs, even dogs that get washed every week or every day, they're constantly getting conditioners, they're getting oils and everything to replenish that acid
Mm-hmm.
mantle, that protective layer of oil. And if you're not doing that, if you're just a pet owner at home washing your dog every day because you think it's going to make your dog smell nice, you're wrong. It's going to make your dog smell worse, and it's going to make your dog get nastier and their skin rougher. It's going to cause so much more damage. So that's why I say if you're just a pet owner looking for a clean, healthy, nice smelling dog that's soft to the touch, brush them more often than you bathe them. Let's see here. um, let's see. APEA Doggerming says, okay, thank you. You're welcome. MG says, thank you, June. That is true. My dogs stay clean. We do every 2 to 3 weeks. Awesome. Um, my favorite dog dad. You make sense once in a while. You make sense. You make sense once in a while too. That's a good ratio, 6 to 1. Yeah, that's about the ratio I make sense, right? For every 6 times I fumble, I make that one nice comment. APEA says, ha ha ha. My favorite dog dead. Also depends on product if it's abrasive or gentle. You don't want to end up with the stripped skin and coat. Yeah, I mean, because some of these, like you said, what did you call them? Microplastics,
Microplastics.
and they're abrasive to our skin. And
Mm-hmm.
it's probably on a microscopic level, so we don't even notice it or feel it.
So, and one of the best things, talking about drying skin out with the cocoa butter and the coconut oil in our products, it will help repair any damage. It will help strengthen. It will help um, moisturize and replenish those oils too. So,
Yeah, this is I still have some of this lotion that you sent me. What is this? The goat milk body
Uh-huh.
lotion.
Yep, goat milk body lotion.
Oh my goodness, I've been using it on my hands, and my hands usually are rough. And I would even joke around on my YouTube videos when you see my hands, I'd be like, "Oh my God, these hands, they look like they should be breaking bricks in construction or something." And I've always had these very dark marks on my knuckles. I remember one time when I was a car salesman, somebody joked around. They said, "We better buy this car from this guy." And they said, "Why?" And I even laughed. I said, "Why?" He said, "Look at those hands." He was like, "I don't want to get beat up by this guy." And I was like, "Oh my God," like and he was like, "What do you do? Break bricks or something with your fist?" And I don't. It's just all my life I've had like these rough hands, and it just calloused and hard, but it actually has become really soft. And I can't even say that I put it on religiously or anything or regularly. It's just whenever I sit down and I'm just kind of Netflix and chilling or something, just winding down for the night, I'll just look at it and say, okay, and I'll put it on my hands. Before I was working, I was using working hands. Have you heard of that? O'Keefe's working hands?
Mhm.
Oh man, I don't like the way you said, uh-huh.
So I get really dry hands because I'm constantly cleaning. My hands are always in water. I'm not obviously a groomer, but just as a mom,
Mm-hmm.
laundry, dishes, bathing. But that never worked for me. I got like, I think it was the green bottle was supposed to be
Yeah.
like the best at moisturizing. And it wasn't again until this brand came out and I learned all the benefits of goat's milk. And regular lotion, I feel greasy afterwards. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
With the goat milk, so little goes such a
Yeah.
long way.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
you sent
and
this to me the same time, and of course, the dog shampoo I knew wasn't gonna last because it's just hair all, and it's long haired dogs I was
right.
washing, long haired
Mm-hmm.
doodles, poodles, and this, you sent it to me at the same time, so it's been about 3 weeks, and I've been dipping into it pretty much every night, and I still have a good bit in there. I mean, it's not a lot left, but yeah, it's and like you said, a little goes a long way. I only need like a little bit, and then it spreads all over. It's really nice. And my hands are usually dry and cracked, but
Yeah.
they've been nice. It's really just out of curiosity, I'm gonna see what the O'Keefe's, because I have it right. Oh no, there goes my green tea. It's okay. I don't care. There's nothing electrical down there or anything of value. All
Maybe one of your dogs will lap it up.
right. Yeah, I'm actually gonna have them lap it up after this. Okay, so okay, ingredients: water, glycerin, stearic acid, sodium hydroxide, paraffin hydroxypropyl, methylcellulose, allan, allantoin, octo. Wow. Okay, so I'm not gonna bore everybody like like a child learning hooked on phonics.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
So the water
wow.
again was the base.
Yeah, okay. And I've been using that because working hands, well, I mean, it seemed to do the trick, but I mean, again, like I guess not it, like it would kind of dry out a little bit and okay.
One
So,
of the great things about talking about like goat milk for our company, um, the goat milk is 100% traceable from farm to final product.
oh,
And the farmer that they contract through, they test for antibodies 2 or 3 times a week for the milk. So
wow.
you are getting the most raw, most superior goat milk out there available.
So why goat milk? Like as opposed to like a cow's milk or, like what's so good about goat milk?
Just okay, so I never used to put lotion on my face because of my cystic acne. And what I learned with goat milk, and I don't know what is in it per se, but it's just loaded with so many vitamins that whether you have dry skin or oily skin. It just helps balance the pH levels out.
Uh-huh.
So you don't need 10 different products. You don't need O'Keefe's working hands for when you're washing the dogs, and then just a little something not as thick
Mm-hmm.
or heavy duty, you know, during the times that they're not as dry. Like this is the time of year hands are super dry, especially here in Ohio. We just had some snowmageddon last week,
Mm-hmm.
and my hands were incredibly dry, even with gloves on. And but during the summertime, I'm not going to have that issue. So
Yeah.
if you just don't, and I cautiously say Google, you can look up anything on the internet, but really do your research. Or again, I have a Facebook page. All this information's in it as far as knowledge and education, as far as what certain ingredients do, like what's the benefit of coconut oil, or what's the benefit of cocoa butter, phenol D, or peppermint, or what are the downfalls of these toxins and what do they cause, and
Yeah.
so.
So, so where can people? Because I've only found out today, only because you tagged me, that you have an Instagram page. But where can people find your posts? Like LinkedIn, I think is probably the best place, right? Your LinkedIn page. I mean, some of your posts, like your most
A
recent
little
post,
bit.
even.
So I post on Facebook, I post in Instagram, and I post on LinkedIn. I would have to say my Facebook page, which is Living Water Creek, has a little bit more in depth conversation regarding ingredients, toxins. Um, I just feel the Facebook page is a little bit more knowledgeable.
Okay.
I just feel there's maybe just because I'm not um, as apt, because I lost my German exchange student who used to be my Instagram person who taught me how to use it. Maybe
Uh-huh.
I'm just not as well versed, but definitely if anybody wants to go to Facebook at Living Water Creek,
At Living
it's
Water
my
Creek.
group. It's very educational, and I would love anybody to join and ask questions so I can share my knowledge as well.
Perfect. And is it okay if I tell people about your in LinkedIn that
Oh yeah,
your Koffler Lissa on LinkedIn? Because, like for example, your post just one day ago, polyethylene glycol, the PEG compounds, and you
yes.
know have that all of just your most recent post even. I think that's so informative, shocking sometimes when I read it. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't cleaned my house in weeks, guys. I haven't cleaned my house in weeks. I told my mom, don't clean. I'm kidding. I haven't showered, guys, in 3 weeks. I'm kidding. I've been
And
using.
I've cleaned. I used to have OCD before kids, but I would clean all the time, and I'm thinking those name brand products that you get that advertise on TV, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how many, with that lung study
Uh-huh.
back in 2018 that they did, cleaning is like smoking 20 cigarettes every time you clean, and I'm
Oh,
thinking,
could you
how much damage did I do to my lungs then?
could you tell people about that? Because we talked about that before we actually started streaming
Oh,
on
okay.
YouTube. So yeah, could you tell people about that study?
So 2018, maybe 2017, there was a study done. I don't know exactly by who, but they did a study on women. Don't take it any way, but women in a relationship usually clean. I'm calling my husband out on this one because I clean. And so your cleaning products, we all know what those are. I don't have to name them, but every time you were to clean, it was the damage done to our lungs was like smoking 20 packs. Oh my gosh, 20 cigarettes every single time.
Wow. So every time a woman like is on her hands and knees wiping the floor with these cleaning products, wiping the counters in the kitchen, it's like she smoked 20 cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. Could you
Wow.
imagine if by trade that's your job is a cleaning professional?
Mm-hmm.
what if you're I don't, please don't badger me, but like the maids in hotels, or what are they called?
Housekeepers.
They're housekeepers. Thank you. That's all they do. And so
Hmm.
I'm thinking, so if they clean one room, is that 20 cigarettes? And if they go to another room, is that another 20 cigarettes?
Yeah, hopefully they're wearing a mask, right, when they're working then, so they're not
Well,
breathing it.
probably, well, now they probably are, but
Yeah,
prior to COVID, and it's just, it's really just sad how these big corporations just don't care. And it's
yeah,
all about the almighty dollar and lining their own pocket at our expense and at the expense of our environment.
exactly. Oh my God. I think that statement right there is like it should be taken very seriously, because it is harming not just us, not just poisoning us and causing us to suffer early deaths, illnesses that really would have never been a part of our lives had we not used these harmful products. We're trusting these companies to be honest
Yes.
with us, and they're not. Okay, let's see here. Where did I leave off? Okay, MG says, I have noticed adding more omega oil in their food helps with their skin. Exactly. And that's a really good point because the dog food, even when I change my dog's food, I notice something. So the things that we take in, we know that if it's positive, it has good effects. So
Mhm.
when we put toxins on our bodies and our hair, it's obviously going to have adverse effects. Um,
I noticed when I switched to our products with my dog, and I think I told you this, June. My husband's dog, the one I sent you the picture of in my attempt of the video, I'm sure that you were laughing, but
no.
um, um, where was I going with this? Oh, I would get done giving him a shower, and he would get out and just lick himself profusely. And I
Hmm.
thought, well, maybe he's just licking the excess water off. But since I've been using the shampoo bars, which we just came out with those, I think around Christmas time, actually. So the past couple months, I've been using the shampoo on him through the brand I represent. He gets done and he goes and just lays down. It is so glorious to not
Hmm.
have to hear him lick.
Yeah, because dogs have thinner skin than our own, and I hear that they can literally taste the chemicals in their mouth because their skin absorbs it and it goes in their bloodstream. They can taste it. Let me see here. And that always stuck with me when I heard that. I was like, "Oh my God, I don't want to use cheap
Ooh,
products on them anymore because they can taste it."
that reminds me, I just want to throw this out here. I had to print it off because I couldn't, everything has such a long name to it, but the main toxic ingredients in dog shampoos, luferin, luferenon, I don't know. It kills the larvae and not ticks, but the side effects to cats, it causes vomiting, depression, loss of appetite, tiredness, diarrhea, and itchy skin. For dogs, it causes all of that, but it also causes labor and trouble breathing and hives.
Oh my
Then
goodness.
there's then there's spinosad. I think is how you pronounce it. Yes, it kills the fleas and not, but it doesn't kill ticks. But the side effects for both dogs and cats, it irritates the skin. It causes application site dryness, application site skin peeling, hair loss, or dry skin. And
Oh
then
my
there's
goodness.
one thing. It's midoprin, Nitempyram. It kills the fleas, but the side effects for both dogs and cats, it causes hyperactivity, panting, lethargicness, vomiting, fever, loss of appetite, nervousness, diarrhea, difficult breathing, salivation, lack of coordination, seizures, pupil dilation, increased heart rate, and trembling. I'm
Oh my
sorry.
goodness. You
Like, my
know,
dogs, I mean, they're not my kids, but I love them because they don't talk back to me. But why?
the crazy thing is this is hitting home for me because about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when I first started grooming, when I first started as a bather at a really busy shop, the owner was very old fashioned and he wanted to use the same shampoos they've been using since like, 1970s. and one of them was even like soap or something like that. Anyways, um, I remember one client came in and he was really upset. He had this huge vet bill and he accused them of giving his dog depression. And I laughed at that, and I thought it was a big joke. When you listed off that first ingredient, you said it causes dog's depression, and I'm like, oh, what? Because they refused, and they also, and when the owner came back in, she told us, and I was like, you think the dog really could have got depression from a groom? And she goes, no, he probably wants to get some Prozac or something or some Xanax, and he wants us to pay for it. And I was like, oh, okay, but wow, I mean, maybe not even the way they were treated, because sometimes a lot of people think maybe
Yeah.
because the dog was, manhandled or treated roughly, that's why they're acting lethargic. It could be the shampoo. It could be the shampoo that we're using.
Well, I don't know about you, but when you wash dogs, my dog is drinking water nonstop. So then to think of, oh gosh, like not only did I put it on their bodies, and like we had talked about, when you wash your body, you start with your hair because all that then washes onto your body. You don't want to wash your body first and then dirty it by the stuff in your hair. And then it goes down the drain. Well, I'm washing whatever off my dog. They're drinking it, but then
Hmm.
it's still absorbing into their skin. So it's kind of like a double whammy for them because I'm not drinking my bath water
Yeah.
after I'm done. But like that's when I learned after having kids the products I used on them and how toxic they were, I felt sick to my stomach. So to know, like I would never knowingly want to cause harm to my kids or my dogs. And yet
Hmm.
I did so because I unknowingly believed the companies and their
Yeah.
marketing schemes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so because I don't want to, I know that we're already hit an hour mark, and I want to be respectful of your time.
Uh-huh.
Morgan Nelson, thank you, Morgan. Morgan actually just put $2 in the super chat. Wow. So I'll split that with you, Lissa. Actually,
I don't
I,
know what that means.
that means that he basically donated $2 to my channel in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah, he put cool thumbs up. Thank you, Morgan. I guess though I'm this is my channel. I'm running the show. She's more like my busser, right? I'm the waiter, so I'll take the tip. I'm gonna break her off some though. I'll give her a quarter. Don't worry about it, Morgan.
you gave me a quarter.
APEA says, I wash my own dogs every 1 to 2 months. I thought from me being a groomer, they would be nice and tidy all the time, but sadly, that's not the case. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, washing your dogs every 1 to 2 months, you're probably doing your dogs a favor. Just like a horse. Horses, they don't get washed every day, but they get brushed every day. People spend hours brushing their horses. Um, let's see here. MG says, what brand is that? I'd be interested in research and get some. My Maltese tends to have sometimes a bit of drier skin. Okay, so MG wants to know if she wanted to get some of that shampoo from you, Lissa. How does she get that from you? Because I don't even know. I didn't order any of the stuff from her.
MG or MJ?
It's
MG.
MG. Hmm.
Okay. If you can, if you're, is she on Facebook?
I'm not sure. MG, are you on Facebook? But yeah, if you're not, even if you're not on Facebook, you can put in the Facebook URL and find your Facebook page, right? Living Water Creek. Is it spelled
Correct.
just like it sounds?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, we can discuss that further, and I can help answer any other questions that may arise after this video.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay, perfect. So anybody who wants to contact Lissa directly after this, her Facebook page, Living Water Creek, is the best way to get in touch with her by messaging her directly there. Morgan Nelson says, Lissa, where can we buy your products? Okay, perfect. So visit her Facebook page, Living Water Creek. Mario Portillo. Wow, Mario says, bummed I missed most of this. Wow, Mario. Mario actually has a homosexual crush on me. Everybody, that's just for everybody out there to know. But it's okay. I don't like to judge. So, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. He's my heterosexual life partner. We met back in Arizona. We used to groom together, actually.
okay.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, he fell in love with me the moment he laid eyes on. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so David says my this is my favorite dog dad. David says lonely nights, I guess. He's talking about the lotion. Dude, David, I told you. She sent this to me 3 weeks ago. I still have some left. It's not even about that, David. Holy cow. I'm gonna use working hands for that next time. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's getting late. Mindy says, Lissa, do you ship to Australia? Could you ship to Australia? I mean, I guess you
I
could, right? But
I just need to check. Certain countries have really red tape restrictions. So let me get with my branding founder. Find me on Living Water Creek on Facebook, and I'll let you know. If not, it may be something that I can just ship directly, and maybe there won't be too many issues.
awesome.
We'll talk about it more, and we'll talk about it more in Messenger though.
Perfect, perfect. Hopefully they don't watch this. They're gonna be like, "Holy cow, Lissa, what did you do?" It's like worst decision of your professional life. I'm just kidding. Okay, MG says, "Interesting, Living Water Creek." Yes, I think you got it, MG. MG says, "Very true, Lissa." Oh wow, Dolores Parr. Wow, Dolores Parr. She actually has cool under the collar. I did like a salon tour with her. She says, "Great Q&A session. Thanks for sharing." Dolores, you're welcome. And Dolores, I'm always learning stuff from her. She has like this Nagayu system that she uses. Like they use this like an oxygenated tab with the special knob. It's supposed to like clear out all of the toxins and stuff that's building up in those pores. Anyways, it's amazing. They have all kinds of stuff for dogs. um, let's see. Shauna Williams. Dang, I'm late. Hey, what's up, Shauna? How are you? Um, my favorite dog dad. Okay, they're all saying hi to each
Yeah,
other.
June was late himself too, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I was. I was running. So this was supposed to be at 8, but then, and then I was actually, as soon as I realized I wasn't gonna make it on time, I messaged Lissa and I told her like, I'm so sorry, but she's so understanding and she was so flexible and yeah, the thing is, I offered to do it next week, but I realized I couldn't do it next week anyways because it's my youngest daughter's 10th birthday. She's turning 10 next week. Yeah,
Oh,
so I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. So if we didn't do this tonight, it would have had to been like next month, like so I'm glad we did this tonight. And thank you so much,
yeah,
Lissa, for taking your time out and sharing
absolutely.
like this is I think such helpful and eye-opening information for people like me who I was just ignorant. And they
Mhm.
say ignorance is bliss, but it's really not.
I don't think it's ignorance. It's just you're misled. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. It's how we're marketed to, how these big corporations
Yeah,
are able to basically hook, line, and sinker us because it's something we've always grown up with.
exactly. Yeah,
So how are we? How would we know the difference?
exactly. Yeah, because you don't expect to be lied to like that, like right on the label. And it's like,
Right.
is nobody seeing this? Like, oh my God. Okay. Let me see if there's any more questions. My favorite dog dad says, "Don't worry, June is a master YouTuber, so I'm sure he'll put a link in the description to her Facebook page." Right, June? That's right. I was already thinking about that, David. Before David even said that, it was already on my mind. I was planning to do it. And okay, I wasn't. Thank you, David. That's very helpful. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that after this is done. I'll go ahead and find your Facebook page, and then I'll copy the URL and put it in the description here. And that was my idea, just so everybody knows. I thought of that. It had nothing to do with David's comment.
Run with it, June. Run.
Yeah, exactly. Why does he deserve the credit? No, I was kidding. Shauna says, definitely going to rewatch. This sounds like great information. Thanks so much. Yes, and Shauna, I'm gonna have it up on my channel so you guys can rewatch it. And then when you do go back to rewatch it, I'll hopefully have that. I'll do it right now after we end this. But thank you so much. Lisa, is there anything else that you wanted to maybe like a point that we didn't get to cover?
Not really. Just if there's any questions, I would love to help answer them. A lot of this stuff I've had to go back to my branding founder. I've picked her brain. She is so generous in letting me be a pain in the
Yeah, no, I
behind
bet she
to
likes
look
it.
at.
I bet she likes it.
And she's so willing to teach me as well, stuff that I haven't learned. Different things regarding some of the ingredients
Hmm.
out there and some of the misconceptions. But just to leave you with a little bit of a teaser, um, we do have, so right now we just have the flea and tick shampoo that I sent to you, but we are getting April, May timeframe. She said they're finally going to launch the hot spot oil, so I would really be interested in that.
Okay.
There's going to be an additional pet bar option. So I would assume that they would keep that. I know we're coming out with, for our own product line, a goat milk. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a goat milk base
Hmm.
for the dogs as well. Um, there's going to be a flea and tick spray, so you could spray that on like bedding and carpet and on furniture for those flea infestations. And then she said there's going to be something yummy for kittens.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know what that means.
And then
Maybe it's going to be catnip.
I'm not sure if this is gonna matter at all, just like maybe like feedback from just one end user's point of view. But I hope they don't come out with too many varieties or variations or like quote unquote flavors because I kind of like the simplicity of it. Like almost like if that flea and tick bar was maybe just called something else, even like all natural dog shampoo that happens to help with flea and ticks, you know. But like
I think
yeah.
stuff like that, feedback, when we get that, that's something I take and I run and I send it to our branding founders. Like another groomer I had sent this flea and tick shampoo bar to. She doesn't like the cinnamon, and unfortunately, one of the benefits of the cinnamon scent is to kill and deter fleas and ticks.
Hmm.
And then there was the question of, well, why is there not a whitening agent? Well, usually whitening agents are a little bit more toxic. And then again, going back to the coconut oil and the cocoa butter will help shine and bring out that natural coat color
Yeah.
just in itself. So we really try to keep it as simple as possible with the ingredients, but that will be something I will share with Miss Amy, the founder, to
Yeah.
say keep that option, don't get rid of it.
Yeah, well, and also,
So
I don't know. I just kind of like simple menus. The reason why I like In and
okay,
Out so much is because there's not so much on the menu, and it's like. But anyways, that's just me. That's just one end user's opinion. Um, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I like when I was out in Utah, I met a young lady who makes her own shampoos and things like that, and I guess I mean, it sounds to me like that might be better than buying the, main brand shampoos available at the stores. But like get like making your own shampoos, I'm like, for example, the reason why I don't feed my dogs raw, like a complete raw diet, I buy dog food that has raw freeze dried
mm-hmm.
foods in it, or I buy freeze dried raw food like Stella and Chewy's and things like that because there's you have to put the right amount of liver and organ meat and it has to have the right ratio and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not all into math and all of that and so like I
Yeah.
would think that it's to be the same with soap, right? If you're gonna make your own soap bars, I'm pretty sure it's not that simple, right?
Okay, so I do have a family member who is also a chemist. So it is great because I've been able to ask them so much and pick their brains as well. So I'm not just hearing it from somebody who is trying to promote it,
Mm-hmm.
but someone from an outside perspective. And so I've gone to this family member and I've asked them, and they've even said, because they make their own soap, there are certain precautions you need to take.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for the fact that knowing our brand has a formulator, a chemist that helps us put this together, that makes me feel better. Knowing the
Mm-hmm.
integrity of Amy, the branding founder, is even more remarkable. They're farmers. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they're really all about the sustainability. I mean, look at the goat milk. They have a kosher certification, they have a halal certification, and they have this other certification, which means like they don't use
Hmm.
herbicides.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
I would
Okay.
rather support small business, whether it's my brand or somebody else's. I would rather support a small business
Yeah.
over lining the pockets of these people who don't have to worry. They don't give a rip.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And especially during COVID, these times with COVID, with not everybody going back to work yet, why are we not shopping and supporting our smaller businesses?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
That's true. Man, now I feel bad because one of my friends, she has a local shop here in in my neighborhood, and it's just, I was when we were all locked down, and I was very limited appointments. I would go and get all my dog food from her shop, but yeah, these days because, I went there one morning, to get some dog food, but yeah, there's a line, and I'm a busy guy, and so.
oh, Joe just called you out.
No, no, I feel bad, but the thing is, like, I do try to shop but I shop at the brands that carry like the more, you know, boutique. So what is it? Hollywood Feed. I go there sometimes. I go to the pet supermarket sometimes. Anyways, let's see here. Just want to see if there's any more questions before we let. Okay, we'll check Living Water Creek. Perfect. All right. APA Dog Grooming says, thanks, June and Lissa. Have a great night. Awesome. Morgan Nelson says, great information. Thank you both. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Lissa. I really appreciate it. And I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and put the link on of her Facebook page, Living Water Creek. And that way you guys can contact her directly with any specific questions you have about specific products. I know there's one girl that I follow on Instagram. She has acne, and she said that she's used all kinds of products and it just gets worse. And I think that you might be a really good source for her to talk to because you've dealt with that your whole life, and so yeah.
Literally my whole life into my adult years till about 6 months ago.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And it was just by changing the products you used to clean your face with.
I think I've used every brand out there that you can buy in a store, online, everything.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna message her on Instagram and tell her to contact you. And
Yeah, I would love that.
okay, awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope everybody has a great night. And if you have any further questions, then can I give them your email? No, I think the best way is just to send her because
They can email me. It doesn't matter.
okay, because if
It
some people
may
aren't
the
on
only thing
Facebook.
with email may get lost in junk.
Okay, well maybe they could put
So
something in the subject line. If they put Living Water Creek in the subject line.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so if they want to email you, it would be LissaKoffler at
Yes.
gmail.com. Lissa Koffler at gmail.com. In the
Correct.
subject line, put Living Water Creek, and that way
Yes.
she'll know to check it. Awesome. Thank you
Yes.
guys so much. Thank you for your time, Lissa. Have a great night,
Thank you.
everybody. Awesome. This was a lot of